Good morning, guys. Welcome to my stream for today. It's been a while. Hi, early bird, Papi Roel. Thank you so much for liking and sharing the stream. As always, thank you so much for the support. Teka lang, mag-share din ako. JR Park, thank you so much for liking the stream. Okay, so laruin natin today yung uh, version 1.5 ng game. So, maraming bagong maraming bago. New stuff, new event, new story. I think there's continuity sa story ni Zhongli. Tapos hangout events part 2 for Noel. Then we have hangout events for Deona. New
You
bosses.
should really bring the Knights of Favonius with you next
Stage
time.
is Age Daha. Di pa ba? Dami. So marami tayong gagawin. So, pasun ko lang tong isa dito.
Oh, 3D lang siya. So...
I still have a lot to do at the guild. How about you take a rest while I go back?
I'll have a co-op stream later also with Ikaruga Gaming, so... I think nag-ano lang siya ng commissions, so I'll complete my commissions as well. Ayan. Okay, so continue this. Play natin. Wait lang. Nga ba ito? Ba natin pag malaki na to? Frost Lawacher.
Useless. Wheel of life.
And we are done with that. Teka lang.
Guess we can rest a bit.
Lamikan tayo dito.
Listen, as long as you stick to your own path, it doesn't matter what Mother Nature throws at you.
rite of parting? Did something terrible happen again?
Ancient alchemy truly is.
You know. Thank you sa pag-share. Kahit alam ko nag-stream ka din. Mamaya tayo mag-cooperate lang.
Ad Astra ab.
There's a strange one.
Okay, let me just go to Discord.
When you're high up, everyone can hear your voice.
Yan.
Rebooting.
Ayun.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning. Hello?
When you're high up, everyone can hear your voice.
Guess we can rest a bit.
Wala ka.
Wait.
Copy.
Wait.
Okay, okay.
Ad ab.
Copy pa din, hindi kita maintindihan. Crackling noise, ganun. Na daw?
RTX voice. Yan, hello. It might be due to the RTX voice.
Ayun, okay na, oo.
Oo, yun.
Teka lang. Yung line ko, okay ba? Hello?
Hello. Medyo choppy yung side mo.
Ayan. May RTX voice din ako, tinanggal ko na.
Ayun. Diba?
Bakit siya gaganon? Chris
Hindi
Joy
ko-
Cariaga, thank you so much
hindi
for
ko din alam.
following the stream. Welcome to Rave Gaming. I have Ikaruga Gaming on Discord right now. Mamaya magko-co-op kami. Gagawin ko lang yung story
Hello.
para...
Hello, guys. Oo. Kasi sabi ko sa'yo kahapon, tapusin mo na eh.
kasi natutulog ako eh. Sorry na. Teka lang.
Sleep is lifer.
Oo, sleep is lifer. Teka lang. Ano ka lang. But kanina ginawa ko yung commissions. Mga around
Okay.
4 a.m. ba yun? Ay, hindi. Around 3, I think.
Katatapos ko pa lang sa commissions eh. But I've already finished yung quest ni Zhongli kahapon. That's why I saw the Stone Dragon na. Or the Rock Dragon.
Age da ha. Teka lang.
Yes.
Yun ba yung when the trail goes cold? Yun, di ba?
I think so, yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing, Chris Joy Cariaga.
At the end of the end of that quest, you will be battling Ajda.
Tapos after nun, pwede nang mag-ano.
Pwede na. Yung makukuha mo sa kanya is I cannot remember if it is luxurious or precious.
Oh, okay.
Precious chest, yeah. But yes, after which you will get you will open the Drown's Domain, yung beneath the Dragon Queller, and you will be able to enter it now. I'm just not sure if it is available for co-op. But seeing that child is a trans domain and it is available for co-op, then I think it is available for co-op.
Ay, shoot! Teka lang. Historia Antiqua Chapter Act 2 yun, di ba?
Yes,
Kailangan ng key. Wala akong key.
yun lang.
Holy shoot. Sige, wait lang.
So how will you be able to actually open it?
Well, baka bukas na to if ever. Pero sige, jump in na ako sa world mo. Wait lang.
Sure. Teka.
Uy, may mail.
I'm at 60 na.
Click
60
here
PT.
to park. Ako 62 pa din. Hindi ako magpo-pull kasi wala pa si Yula.
Delikado mag-full.
Delikado talaga. Eh, meron akong 23 na acquaint. Ay, acquaint pa,
Oh.
intertwined, sorry.
Oh, nice.
Oo, so,
But still,
pang 80 pa
delikado
yun.
mag-full. Yeah.
Right. Oo. Delikado
I will do
talaga.
I will try to do the hangout
Wow,
later.
if only we had some help here.
Kasi open na yung yung part ni Noel and then kay Deona
Oo nga.
na open ko na siya. So, let's go. So, sino ba? I mean, sabi
Well,
ni...
hindi ko maano si Ashda ha. I mean, makaka-join yata ako sa'yo, pero...
Makaka-join ka dito. I mean, sabi ni Ken kasi is itatry niyang humabol.
Okay.
Yata.
Yeah,
So yeah, we can always rerun naman
Oo.
Ishdaha in
No problem.
the weekly bosses. So I guess child first.
Sige, sige.
But were you able to open the Serenity pot na?
Hindi pa, hindi pa.
Ah, okay.
May storya din ba?
Yung
Wala naman.
Meron. Mahaba-haba.
Ay, naku. Sige, sige. Yaman na siya.
Nag-stream ako during lunch kahapon and I let the conversations run. Muntik
Okay.
To the point na 25 minutes na lang yung natitira doon sa lunch ko. So, in-skip-skip ko na lang yung conversation kasi ang haba talaga. Ang dami nilang dialogue si Madam Ping sa si Yan Fei.
Ang weird, ang late ng boss ni Yang Fei, Yan Fei, sorry. Sa English. Pagdating sa Japanese, ang laki ng boses niya.
Hindi ko pala
Narinig ko. May
hindi ko pa
sa isang
nakikita.
stream, ang laki ng boses. I mean, babae, pero hindi yung katulad nung nasa pangalan nito.
May chichi si Butter Boba.
Should we
Ay,
really
oo,
be off
nakita ko
work
yun.
this
Hindi ko
early?
alam kung bago yun.
There is still a lot left to do.
Baka bago lang. Noel daw yung nakuha niya.
Sino bang, ikaw ang nakasisik Dio na, di ba? Tama ba?
Kahapon na kasi 6 day na ako. Si Butter Boba kasi is actually he's trying to get Yan Fei.
Nga.
Well, I'm trying to get Yan Fei as well, pero since hindi binigay, I'd rather not risk it. Bahala na siya kung ayaw niyang umuwi.
Cowering already? You've made some progress. Guess I should take you more
Hirap eh,
seriously.
pati si Rosario, hindi ko na nakuha dahil kay
Si Rosario nakuha ko eh. Level
Ayun.
50 na yung Rosario ko, pero yun, hindi ko na
All you do is run.
hindi ko na pina-level ulit. Ay, ano ba yan? Child.
Nalikot naman ito.
Nilikot nga. Patay si Ganyu.
And it goes on.
Yan, mag-hit. Okay, part 3.
Actually, masayang kalaban si Ishdaha.
Anong first element na nakalaban mo sa kanya?
Wala, hindi siya nag-change actually. Or rather,
Pag ano na siguro, pag
Hindi siya
kinukot na
nag-change.
natin.
hindi siya nag-change kahapon sa akin eh. So, I'm not sure. Well, pero doon sa video kasi nag-change siya ng element, di ba?
Baka sa initial sa story, view lang tayo.
Baka.
Some you win, and some you lose.
Uy, 30 lang.
30 lang, nice. Butt plug.
Yay! Butt plug. Seryoso. Natutuwa ako sa butt plug. Ano ba yan? Ano ba naman
Merong
yan?
ano,
Rising of Shield Hero na naman ako.
merong bagong drop ngayon, yung Dream Solvent. I'm not sure kung para saan to, pero yung nakalagay is
Pang-convert
changing
yata
character
yun.
level up.
Pang-convert.
Paano? Pang-convert ng ano?
Yung sa talent. Hindi ko alam kung paano. Yung mga
Okay.
mats, i-convert mo. Parang sa mga gem.
Okay. So, you need to, ano pa, you need to alchemically, ano pa,
Oo.
craft it. Okay. Ah, Age da ha, gusto mo?
Let's go. Sige, invite mo ako.
Sa may ano siya, sa may Mount Hutaw.
Hutaw. Ano hutaw? Wala. Ha? Saan ako?
Hulaw, sorry, Hutaw. Hulaw,
Hulaw.
Mount
Ito.
Hulaw. Sa
Meet the
Nantianmen.
Dragon Dweller.
Yes. Let's go for this one. Hahaha.
Yay, makakapasok ako.
Yeah. It's actually, well, I actually expected it. Since na ano nga, Trounce domain naman nga.
Oo, pag ano lang hindi ano. Ewan ko, dapat si Devalin pwede na dun eh, no?
Actually, oo, dapat. But,
Ewan ko,
well,
ayaw nila.
ayaw nila eh. Ay, teka,
Go,
wag
Benny
na.
Boy.
Si Benny ba?
Ay, ikaw,
Sige,
bahala ka.
Ben. Sige, Benny na lang. Kailangan ko din yung boost ni ano,
Oh,
ni
Fervent
Benny
Flames.
for Ganyu. Buti naisipan nila to, no? Yung hahatiin nila yung ano.
Kasi ayaw nila magtaas ng ano eh, resin capacity eh.
Yes.
I-discount na lang yung first 3 bosses.
Ano ba to?
Wahaha, go! Reach the ha. May kamukha siyang boss sa isang game.
Sa Monster Hunter.
Yun, oo, exactly.
Kamukha siya nung isang... I'm not sure who. I'm not sure kung ano yung pangalan kasi I don't really play Monster Hunter that much. But yeah, kamukha siya nung isang ano doon, isang dragon doon.
Maganda talaga pag dalawang pyro kasama. Ang taas ng ano ko, taas ng damage ko.
Ayun, nag-46 ako. 44.
May Fervent Flames kasi tayo. Dalawang pyro.
Yes.
Oh shoot! Oh shoot! Oh, namatay ako!
Ayun, nagbago na yung element niya. Okay.
Okay, ano
So,
siya? Hydro.
Asia is now...
Hydro.
Hydro ba siya?
Hydro.
Okay.
Ay.
Tapos yung ano
Ay!
pa,
Seryoso?
ang dala pa natin is dalawang pyro, dalawang cryo. So, additional sa crit damage naman ni Ganyu yung ano,
Wow.
yung cryo. Tapos yung dalawang pyro is fervent.
Opening
yung
box of a
25%
Jadeite.
ano, additional attack. Aray! Uy, change ulit! Electro naman!
Electro naman. Oh my god, palit siya ng palit. Seryoso.
Grabe, multiple change. Nice! Masaya siyang kalaban.
Nice.
Tutuwa ako sa kanya. Mas natuwa ako sa kanya kaysa Geo Bishop. In reality. Oh!
Experience an eon of suffering.
Heal muna. May 3. Yung butot niya na iiwan.
Yung sabi kanina sa notification eh, continuous damage kapag walang shield.
Okay.
May ano siya eh, meron din siyang parang ano, ito, heal. Meron siyang heal na inilalagay. May continuous damage.
I see.
Uy, buntot na ko.
Uy, buntot. Ay, meron akong ano,
branch pa lang.
meron akong prototype na ano,
Nice, ako wala.
na sword. Tapos
Wala akong
dalawang branch.
Dalawang branch din sa akin. Pero mukha siyang buntot, no? Actually, yun yung buntot niya.
Yun yung buntot niya.
Ulitin natin ito mamaya pag dumating si Ken.
Sige.
Masaya siyang
Pero,
kalaban.
kaso yung ano lang, di ba? Well, world boss siya. So, well, weekly boss, I mean.
Oo.
So, okay. Next is who? Andreas?
Oo, si Doggo na.
Well, yeah, we cannot really run ano naman kasi.
Dapat nga ano nila yun. I-run nila.
Di ba, Alin? Oo. Hindi, natry. Well, natulog ka nga pala kahapon. So, ano. Gusto ko, after yun ni Dogo, gusto mo i-try yung ano, yung cryo na
Ay, oo, yung
hypostasis.
kayo hypostasis. Oh, go. Kailangan natin kay Yula yon.
Oo. We also need to learn yung ano kasi, yung pattern.
Oo, true.
Di
Wala
ba?
man siyang storya. Nag-open lang siya, no?
Nag-open lang,
Okay. Teka lang. Nag-heal muna ako. Ay, nako. Ipinesyon na nga natin yung ano ni Doggo. Teleporter.
Hindi pa nga nila nilagyan ng teleporter. I mean,
Diba?
every other world boss may teleporter except for for
Bakit
Andrews,
nga?
di ba?
Ay, teka lang. Um, wait lang. Parang, teka lang.
Parang ano.
Ay, hindi ka pwede mag-teleport. Navigation lang talaga. Tinry ko siyang i-click eh.
Navigation lang.
Ayan.
Teka, change siya. Party setup. Change to Benny Boy. Iniisip ko kung kung ipapa-level up ko si Dilo. Kasi kung kukunin ko si Yula,
Combo.
mas mas kailangan ko na mas kailangan ko itaas ang ano ni Yula kasi bala ko si Yula yung gawin kong main na Claymore user.
Ay, ano ka na talaga, no? Ice bath, ano ka na eh.
Mm.
Ice team ka na eh.
Wala, gawa ni Ganyu eh. Tapos bala ko din kunin si Ayaka. So,
True.
ice team na talaga. Pero pag nakuha ko si Ayaka, baka maghanap ako ng ng isa pang isa pang pyro para fervent flames tapos yung buff ng ng cryo. Kailangan ko kasi
Fire. Si Yanfei.
yeah.
Ko ang bakit ganun.
Yeah.
Akala ko yung
Underwhelming,
burst
di ba?
niya. Akala ko yung burst niya is yung stamp. Hindi pala. Charge na pala yun.
Underwhelming yung burst niya, di ba? Sabi naman sa'yo kahapon.
Oz, reveal thyself!
Kasi kahapon nga, nung pag login ko, tinry ko agad si Yanfei. Wala, masyadong underwhelming para sa akin yung niya. Kaya kahapon, nag-decide ako na wag na lang kunin si Yanfei. Tapos hindi pa nga lumabas nung
My royal
yes,
Parang sumutaw mo. Sumutaw mo doon sa element. Ang dami siya talaga.
Ano pa nga siya eh, parang ewan ko for me, mas underwhelming pa siya compared kay Amber.
Oo.
Totoo lang.
Weird.
Actually si Amber kasi ita-target niya yung mga monsters, unlike si Yanfei, kailangan mo pang lumapit para makadamage.
True.
Retribution!
Oz, reveal...
14k kay ano oh. Efficient.
Ay, mali.
Pansin.
One shall descend once again.
Nakatat ko na kaya ano.
Everybody, let's light it up!
Thank you for liking the stream, Mr. Jedi Araneta Katipon. We have Rave Gaming on Discord right now.
Hello.
And we're doing World Boss as usual. Medyo na late lang yung medyo na late lang yung World Boss run namin since kahapon lang yung update, yeah.
Wala pa akong item. Kaya ano ko makakakuha? Sana mabigyan ako ni ni
Divalin.
Divalin.
Hopefully.
Uy, ang ganda nito Troops, Flora. HP percent, attack percent, crit rate, energy recharge. Nice.
Oh, nice. Nice yan, nice.
Tapos 3 locket. Yan, where na you? Tarot. Ano siya?
Hindi ko din alam.
Para maulit natin si Ashda. I mean, pwede natin maulit. Kaya naman natin
Pwede naman. So, cryo ba tayo?
Ay, oo.
Teka,
Pwede naman within this week na lang si si Divalin.
Yeah, oo.
Heal. Ito ang fidget spinner.
Cryo
Teka lang,
fidget spinner.
wala pa si si Abyss Lector. Sa story siguro siya lalabas.
Yeah, wala pa. I'm actually thinking, oo nga.
Ang tanong, magiging permanent boss kaya siya?
Well, that's a question. That's a big question. Hindi ko pa nararan yung trial ni Zhongli. Sayang yung 20%, yung 20 20 primos.
Meron pa lang may isa pa akong link na nakalimutan ko i-share sa'yo. Yung Inazuma Cryo Samurai Fighter ang may isang boss.
Oh, nice samurai.
Samurai, oo. Tapos cryo siya. May nag-leak ng ng full
Tapos di ba? Was that one? Ano pangalan nun? Yung sa Inazuma din, yung
Kazuha.
Hindi, si Kazuha, nakita ko na si Kazuha eh. Yung isa pa, na laging sinasabi ni, ay shoot, immune nga pala. Yung laging sinasabi ni Ayaka.
Si Yaw Yaw?
Hindi.
Nowhere to hide.
Start mo yung mga yung eating frozen na tayo.
Ay.
Hindi ko lang makakapag-start hindi ako.
Wala akong, okay.
Hindi ko lang makikipag-start ng yung mga yan. Mga heating platform.
Nakita ko lang...
My contract goes...
namatay siya. Namatay si Ganyu. Kagabi ko lang nakita. Lang. Parang image lang siya nung character, character card. Ito... Hindi ko matandaan. Mamaya, tingnan ko.
Cut to the
Bilis
chase.
lang siyang patayin, pero malikot siya compared sa ibang sa ibang hypo. Tapos immune to siya, immune to physical.
Oh, talaga ba?
Immune to physical siya.
Uy, meron din siyang revival charge attack.
How?
Ano daw?
Charge attack hit fallen. Ito.
Charge attack. Ibabato mo sa kanya.
Babato mo pabalik sa kanya.
Okay,
Kaya nga.
With sword from shadow.
Immune siya sa ano? Immune
Astral
siya sa
Knight.
physical attack. Teka ha.
Hindi ko napansin.
3 seconds. Ano, puro elemental attack yung tumatama sa kanya.
Gladiator's Intoxication. Animo damage bonus. Talaga ba?
Teka. Ilang seconds pa.
Tapos meron siyang Crystalline
8,
Bloom.
7.
Yun yung drop niya. Parang mini version niya lang.
I see. Oo nga, Crystalline Bloom. Troop. Defense, EREM. Ano ba yan? Pangit.
May Alaska ka ba?
Wala. Although,
Ay!
ano naman,
Weird! Yung Dragon
Why?
Spine Exploration ko bumaba.
merong ano,
Naging 94%.
may nadagdag.
May nadagdag, oo. May nadagdag dito. 94% oh.
Yeah, 94% din yun sa akin.
Weird.
Which is before this was at 99 na din. 100.
I'm all for work-life
Oo,
balance,
100
but
na din to
I
sa akin
think this is
before eh.
pushing it.
Pati ang Liwe, bumaba din ako. Hindi na siya
Ah,
100%. 84, 87, 89, 90, 82%. Seryoso? So
May
may dinagdag silang
additional.
content, oo, may dinagdag sila.
yes.
Kasi nadagdagan yung exploration progress eh.
Nag-run kasi ako kahapon nung bagong domain. So, wala ako actually in Alaska, but I can actually use Primos naman.
Ayun. Pati Mondstadt, may dinagdag sila sa Bright Crown
You
at
should
sa
really bring the
Starfed
Knights of Favonius with you
Valley.
next time.
Meron tayong mga makukuha pa dito. Bumaba oh, 100% ko na to eh.
Teka, ano lang ako, heal lang ako.
Weird.
Ano ba, meron ka bang condensed?
Meron.
Ilan? 4, 5?
Diba?
Grabe. Sige, samahan na lang kita. I can run, teka ha. Uy, may bagong mga dialogues yung mga characters. Saan mo ba gusto? Doon sa Millilith? Doon sa
Natin yung
bago?
bago. Oo.
Yun yung tinry ko kahapon, actually. Madali lang siya.
Geo ang kailangan.
Dalawang
As
GeoV
long as
shop.
you stick to
Mature
your
GeoV
own
shop.
path, it doesn't matter what Mother Nature throws at
Ayun
you.
yung nakita ko sa stream mo.
Yeah.
Okay, wait lang. Heal din ako. Wala na akong
Dalawang GeoV shop. So, okay lang din naman. I mean, tapos sobrang ikli nung mga debuff time. So, for example, pag na-frozen yung GeoV shop, parang 1 second lang, nagte-take effect and then gagalaw na sila agad.
Ay, nag-chat yata si Butterbow pa. Tagal lang.
Well, yung sabi niya is na wala nakuha niya. Yun lang yung chat niya sa akin.
Sa akin nakita ko hahaha lang. Wait lang. Teka lang. Ay? Okay.
Karina, anong kita stars?
Ano yan?
Hindi, pinsan ko nag-comment, kita daw ang stars.
Kita
What
yung stars.
yun? Anong kita stars? Ayoko mag-pull, delikado. I'm at 60.
Ako din. Alam mo, iniipit natin for Yula. Siguro magkakaroon tayo ng mga around 40 pulls by, pagdating ng banner na yun, no? 30 to 40 pulls.
I currently have 9 pulls kasi nga nag-pull ako kahapon. But taking into consideration that we still have 19 days.
Oo, makaipon ko.
Yes, quite possibly.
Ano na ako 24 kung
I still have a lot to do at the guild. How about you take a rest while I go back?
Quite possibly na umabot ng ganung kadami yung intertwined.
Ito pa pala nakakatawa. 'Di ba tinry nilang i-fix itong si Endora? May natitira naman eh.
yung nawawala siya pag
Oo.
pag battle.
Yung bubbles niya nandun pa din, pati yung ano niya, sleeping ano niya, andun pa din. Hindi nila natanggal
Hindi nila na
totally. Ang kulit eh. Sabi,
y-
seryoso ba to?
yung sleeping animation.
Oo, sana hindi na lang tinanggal. Okay lang naman. Ang kulit eh.
Ang mahirap kasi kay Endora pag yung
Sa bow
pag
users.
hindi pa pag bow user saka pag ang kalaban mo is actually yung Oceanid.
Ah,
Magugulo ka kung nasan yung Oceanid
Oceanid.
eh,
Oo.
'di ba?
Tinanggal nila si Rodea. Kaya pa nanding kalaban nun.
Yung Day of the Lock na
Mm.
challenge.
Oo.
Ano
Raging
ba 'yan?
Rodea. Tinanggal nila.
Saya pa namang kalaban.
Oo nga. Wala, regular Oceanid na naman ako.
Mm. Tapos ang kakalabanin mo lang yung sana man lang nila, i-carry over nila doon sa regular Oceanid yung ni Rodea. Na yung yung anong nangyari dyan? Natatangay, kaya ni Jin na itaas yung
Oo, kaya niyang kingdom ba?
Ayun, as I was saying, sana i-retain nila yung yung pwede mong i-damage Rodea directly. Tapos yung mga attack ni Rodea, hindi lang limited to Ocean yung summoning Ocean, diba?
Okay, faster.
I think si Butter Boba is asking for help din with regards dun sa weekly bosses.
Sige, let's go.
So yeah, we can also do those.
Tanangin mo din siya. Tapos mag-jump tayo doon.
Sige.
Wala ka masyadong Alaska today eh. Para re-research na yung mo dyan. Ganda ng bagong, uy, 3 agad binigay sa akin oh.
Ay, leave. Nakapag-leave ako. Tangi.
Nobles, Pledging Vessel, Surpassing Cup, and Stainless Blue.
Ganda maganda yung art ng mga bago artifacts actually.
Pero ba't ganun no? Ang hilig nila na panay Fatui yung nasa
Sa?
Yung hindi pala Fatui. Yung parang insignia ni Child yung nasa gitna.
What do you mean? Taka,
Yung
hindi ko napansin. Yung sa yung sa Pale Flame?
Oo, parang
yung color blue. Color blue.
Crit rate, defense na naman. Defense, HP crit. Okay.
Also, hindi ko alam kung in-improve nila yung loading time ng pag yung magma-match. But mas mabilis yung
Oo, actually,
mas mabilis nga. Napansin ko din kahapon kasi parang kaka-display pa lang ng nung name na the player is entering the world pero yung mismong character is nandun na agad. So, yeah.
Dito lang dati hanggang hindi pa nakalagay na enter your world, wala pa rin yung
Oo.
Okay, after ito, puntahan natin si Butter Boba.
Puro
Puchaw!
Sige, hiya mo na. Sige, mag-gin ako.
Kaya, kumusta si Tone Deaf Bard mo? Ayos na ba?
What do you mean by ayos na?
Nakaset na siya? I mean, maayos na yung set niya or for improvement pa din?
Yeah, okay na naman yung niya. Yung set niya. Si Zhongli yung binibuild ko. But, as usual, I don't really have enough core lapis.
Ang dami kong core lapis.
Good for you.
Ang gala ko kasi nung mga first
Burn!
Brace yourself. I swear by my sword.
Mahina pa naman ang damage ng Jin ko.
Retribution!
Barbados. All hail.
Tihaya ka ngayon. Nakatihaya ka kasi.
Ano din pala siya nung first event. Kala ko naman.
Wait, hear me.
Kasi normally, di ba, pag ganito kalalaki na hindi na kaya ng event,
Yahoo!
kaya pa rin pala siya.
Ay, wrong way. Uy,
Nag-leave yung isa na.
tatlo lang? Ano ba yan? Hindi pa naging
Leave na lang
apat.
siya.
Diyos ko, defense na naman. Ano ba yan?
Pero in
Rising of
fairness,
ano na naman ako?
magkasunod na tatlo.
Oo nga eh. Rising of
Diba?
the Shield Hero na naman ako nito eh. Ano tayo? Def Archon. Defense Archon. Lintik na yan.
Ano ba naman yung ano ni Hutaw?
Ano daw? Uto Mayo.
Ayoko niya. Teka, wait. Yo, Kian, thank you for liking the stream.
Butter Boba.
We're just finishing yung domain runs. Punta kami sa world mo.
Okay na kaya
That I'm not sure. But sana. Na-open mo na ba si Ida? Kian? Don't tell me nakuha niyo si Yantay. Well, tinigilan ko yung pag-pull kay Yantay. So, hindi ko siya kukuhain. Super underwhelming nung ano niya for me. Nung first niya for me. Rave, I'm pretty sure na hindi niya kukuhanin. Pati si Rave, hindi niya kukuhanin. So,
This is long overdue.
hindi talaga. Ako
si Yola, inaano nito. Si Yola ang target nito. Ano yung sabi niya? Shit, nawala ako. Na-open ko na kaso tinry ko i-open na natapos ko siya, nakailang food buffs ako. Ayun lang.
That's fine.
That's fine. Wala namang problema yun. Okay. So, technically, meron ka pang dalawang condensed. Tama?
Okay na yun. Mamaya na. Gundulong mask ko. Mocking mask.
Ganda nung mga ano, di ba? Nung art.
So, ano?
Yo,
Pero
ayun.
meron silang staple
All
art eh. Meron silang staple art. Yun yung parang clover na ano, tas may gems. Staple yun eh, yung art na yun.
Ayun, online na din yata si Ken.
Ay, okay. And
Yes. This is a new domain, Kian. Kasama to nung version 1.5.
yeah. Anong pangalan nito? Rage, ano? Tama ba?
Ridge Watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, new ano siya, new domain, new artifacts. So yeah. Actually ano yun, anong set yun? Teka.
Tenacity of
Yung
Millilith at saka
yun saka
ano,
Pale Flame.
Pale Flame. There you go.
Yeah. Yung Tenacity of the Millilith actually is um isa sa mga bagong recommendation for Zhongli. Ay, ayun lang, office pa daw si Ken. Isa sa new recommendation for Zhongli, yung Tenacity of the Millilith. And then Pale Flame, I
In
think
adventuring, as
this
in
Kahit
business,
kanino,
is...
you
Pale
always have
Flame
to
kasi
seize the
physical damage
opportunity
bonus
while
siya
it's
sa
there.
first 2 sets.
Wala, oo.
And then yung 4-piece set niya ay elemental
Bakit yung
skill
piece?
hits an opponent rather. Attack is increased by 9% for 7 seconds. Then stacks up to 2, so up to 18% siya. Once 2 attacks are reached, the 2 set effect is increased by 1. Huh? Teka lang, hindi ko na-get.
Wow.
Hindi ko na-gets.
So 100% yung increase ng physical damage mo pag nakuha mo yung 2 stacks.
So hindi pala 18.
No.
100%.
No, hindi. 100 magiging 100% yung 2-piece mo, additional 18% gawa ng 4.
Okay. Gets.
So medyo malakas yung ano niya, medyo malakas yung
Pwede.
damage niya. Then yung Tenacity of the Millilith, bigay mo yun kay Shinyan. Actually, pwede. Yung Tenacity of the Millilith, HP is increased by 20%.
20%.
So, yung 2-piece. And then 4-piece is pag yung elemental hits an opponent, attack of all nearby party members is increased by 20% and their shield strength is increased by 30% for 3 seconds. This effect can be triggered once every 0.5 seconds. This effect can still be triggered even when the character who is using this artifact
It's
set
not
is
on the
not
field.
on the field. Nice.
Pwede.
Millilith, Tenacity of the Millilith. You can try. You can try kay yan kung okay kay Noel.
Elemental skill hits. All nearby party members increased by shield strength.
You should really bring the Knights of
So
Favonius
go
with
for
you
shield
next time.
users.
I'm all
for
for
sure.
work-life
Yan.
balance, but
Noel,
Yeah.
pwede
I think
rin.
this is
Noel
pushing
pwede.
it.
Kasi matitrigger siya kahit wala sa field si Noel di ba? So yeah, you can try Kian. Currently hindi ko siya matry mainly because ang Tenacity of the Millilith ko is where is that? Tenacity.
Ano in fairness,
Ayan
nakaapat
lang.
ako. Kulang ko ng isa.
Wala ka na isa.
Oo.
Yung pinakain ko yung nakuha ko kahapon kasi since since pangit yung parang nakakuha ko kahapon ng Flora. Ang substat niya is HP defense. Diba? So I'd rather not. So Kian, ano kami? Lagay mo yung Tenacity kay Barbro. Trip lang.
Si Barbara talaga. Jump na tayo doon.
Di talaga kayo mag-Yanfei ever. I don't want to risk it. Pag nakuha ko siya sa standard in the near future, then that's
Yes,
good.
sure.
Sure, she's welcome. Pero hindi ko siya i-risk na kuhanin kay Zhongli sa character banner. Mainly because
Baka makuha na naman natin si Zong.
baka makuha si Zhongli. To give you a brief background, nung lumabas si Zhongli the first time, nakuha ko siya at parang 50 plus. And then, ay mali, sorry. Nakuha ko ulit siya after 2 multi-pool. So that's why C1 yung Zhongli ko. And I don't want to make Zhongli C2.
Okay na yung C1 niya.
Di ba? Okay na yung C1 sa akin. I mean, pwede na siyang mag-erect. Yes, erect is the term. Mag-erect ng dalawang monolith niya. So, I'm good with that. I want her ngayon kasi gusto ko matalo sa 50-50 eh, kaya go lang. Well, it's up to you. If you don't have, again, if you don't have any Zhonglis, then go for it. But if you are close to
Come and have
PT,
some hot soup.
if you
We might
are
just freeze.
trying to get Eula and you already have Zhongli, then I'd recommend
Once,
na
there
don't
was a
risk it.
glorious kingdom
Kasi
established among the
ako, I'm at
heavens.
60,
From that
Rave
kingdom
is
came
at
a crowned
62.
heir,
Yep, yep.
tasked with seeking out the Genesis
So,
girl from the
Delikado
kingdom
kung
of
kami.
magpupul,
darkness.
delikado
The
masyado akong
first
magpupul.
crowned
And
heir
I
began
already
her
have
journey of
9
seeking the
intertwined,
pearl.
and technically, soft PT is at
She
70,
was
diba?
deceived,
So,
and the memory of her noble origins faded.
um,
She now believed that she was
paglabas
the
and
queen
we
of the
still have
kingdom
19
of
days
darkness.
for Zhongli. So, paglabas ni Yula,
But
we're
take
pretty
heart.
sure na
A
makukuha namin si
second
Yula.
crowned heir
And
had
we want
already taken
to
up
hold
the
on to
path
that.
where the first had stumbled.
We want to
This is
hold
the
on to that
story of
chance.
your
That's
journey,
why we're
of your
not
tale to be
risking it
told.
for Yanfei. Ah, okay. So you won't be going for Yula. That's why. So yeah. If you won't be going for Yula naman, then I think you can you can try getting naman. You can try getting Yanfei. There's no harm in that naman. Online ka na ba, Kian?
Hindi pa yata.
Kaya nga, hindi pa
Or
yata
hindi
nga.
pa. Hindi pa. Mag-online ka na, tas jump in ka sa sa Discord.
Okay, may tanong si Kian.
Ano yan?
Pag nanalo ka ba sa 50-50, hindi ka na mananalo sa 50-50 na next? Sa akin it worked. Venti and Ganyu, nakuha ko sila for soft PT. I mean 50 nanalo ako sa 50-50. Ikaw ba, Rave?
Same with Xiao, diba? Sa
Diba?
80,
Oh,
80th full ko siya. 50-50 yun.
yeah. Ayun.
Kasi soft
So,
PT parang nasa 25% lang.
Zhongli, nakuha ko din siya. Wala akong nakuhang 5-star before Zhongli.
Zhongli na, sa akin naman Zhongli, super early PT yun, 44. Kasi sabi ko
Ayun,
lahat sila meron na. Bakit ako wala? Nagkaroon ko bigla.
nagkaroon ka bigla. Ayun, Ganyu, Venti, and Zhongli, nakuha ko lahat. So, not really true na pag nakuha mo yung character this time, the next one, hindi mo siya makukuha. 50-50 pa rin. It's always RNG. Ayun, meron daw pasok si Kian, so chat-chat lang siya ngayon.
Ah, okay. Mag-ano muna ako. Mag-story quest muna ako.
Sabay si Chichi yung lumabas sa PT. Well, kung si Chichi ang lalabas sa PT ko, go lang. Wala namang problema sa akin. But of course, I'm aiming for Yula.
Right. So, magtitipat muna ako.
Alam mo na ba kung paano mag-gather ng mga wood?
Hindi. Paano?
Hindi ko nga alam eh.
Kasi hindi
Kasi
ko nga
diba,
nabasa.
well, yeah. Hindi nire-diretso ko kasi.
Okay, wait lang.
Kasi kailangan ko mag-gather ng wood plus ng cloth to actually craft some materials.
Pero meron na tayong meron na tayong from yung sa Villager Dream Camp, may nakuha na tayong mga yung divider tsaka yung bed.
Ayun, alam ko na kung paano ng wood. You just need to chop the trees.
Paano ko magcha-chop ng trees? Literal?
Yes. Attack the trees.
As long as you stick to your own path, it doesn't matter what Mother Nature throws at you.
Yung maliliit pa lang to eh. I'm not sure kung malalaki.
Yung mga bushes, yung mga ganun.
Parang every tree would give you 3 woods.
Yun ang pinakamatagal na event na gagawin eh.
Oh, Diyos ko naman. Ayun. May nalalaglag na chopped woods.
Ang tanong dyan, kung kung mabubog sa lahat ng domain. So, technically magkakaroon tayong 3 bahay na iba-iba yung tsura.
Well, oo.
Yun ang hindi malinaw eh.
May 6 types of wood. Ayun, in-explain nila.
Okay.
Yeah, kahit anong tree. Fragrant cedar wood.
Yung malalaki kaya?
Yung malalaki fragrant cedar wood.
Kasi yung malalaki,
yeah.
hindi naman natin napuputol yan ha.
Hindi siya mapuputol pero macha-chop siya. Maglalabas lang siya ng
may drop?
item. Oo, magda-drop lang.
Sana naman bigyan talaga tayo ng di ba?
Lahat ng tree except sa tree sa Windrise daw, sabi ni Kian.
Lahat ng tree except yung sa Windrise?
Yeah.
Wala naman masyadong puno sa Windrise. Ay, bully.
So, question. Tingnan ko nga kung ano. Ay, hindi siya nadadamage ng ng burst eh. Physical burst kayo. Yeah, hindi rin siya nadadamage ng physical burst. So, sword talaga yung kailangan sa kanya.
Titry mo bang ipapanain?
Yeah. Hindi siya na-damage.
Okay, punta ko na si Madam.
Yung mga dragon spine, yung mga nasa dragon spine, puro pine trees daw, sabi ni Ken. Tapos, mga bamboo sa liwe yata.
You've arrived at just the right moment. I've been looking for you.
Yung napakalaki na puno sa Windrise, hindi pwede.
Oh, no,
Well,
no. You've done so much for Leo
I
Harbor
really cannot
already.
imagine
I
na
could hardly
pwedeng
ask for
yun,
more.
pwede i-chop yun. Kasi hindi venti yun eh.
Oo nga naman.
Kasi, ano ba yung tamang term? Parang... Kay venti kasing puno yun eh. So technically, may godly powers yung punong yun.
Well, true. Pero malaki, madaling, hindi naman madaling mauubos yun. Kahit hampasin natin.
Tapos
diba?
I'm not sure kung kailan, pero there was a rumor na na magkakaroon nga ng farming sa teapot, sa Serenity Teapot.
Sana, para makapagpatubo tayo ng sarili natin. Tomatoes, cabbages.
Yes.
Lahat na.
Pero may may nabasa kasi ko na yun nga, they are planning to do that pero hindi pa lang 1.5.
So ano tayo? Ano ba to? Ano yung game na
Harvest Moon.
Harvest Moon. Yun,
Tingnan ko nga sa Tingnan ko nga sa
In fact, my old friends and I
yung
have
pinili
been
nyo na
putting our
about. Yung
heads
sa akin
together to
is
think
yung
of what
una,
sort
yung
of
may mga
gift
floating
we might
rocks.
give you in return.
Kasi yun yung pinaka hindi normal.
Oo, yun din ang bala kong kunin. Isa yung Leeway Summer ba yun? Tsaka yung isa sa may Dragon Spine, di ba? Ice. Parang yelo. Bala ko din yung sa
Fine.
loob, yung talagang nasa loob ng ng domain. Ganon. Ganda.
Di ba? Mas appealing siya sa akin kasi.
Tsaka kasi, hindi nga siya, hindi siya common place na mapupuntahan mo every time.
Yun din yung kaya yun yung kinuha ko eh.
Pero feeling ko naman maglalagay pa sila ng iba dyan.
Paano yung hold left click ni Diluc parang iba? What do you mean parang iba?
Child, you are
This
so
is yung
very
normal
modest.
normal charge attack niya.
Uncommonly so even.
Hindi siya
But
yung
you
kay
mustn't
Noel kasi
decline
is
this gift.
paikot.
I simply won't
Diluc,
allow
ganito
it.
yung sa kanya.
When you traversed my old teapot in search
Kaya
of the
hindi
cleansing bell,
hindi
I heard
recommended
your little friend
actually
mention that you
to
often
do
camp
charged
out in the
attacks kay
wilds.
Diluc.
I heard your little friend mention that you often camp out in the wilds. Parang kailan tayo nag-camp? Kung saan na nga natin
Hindi nga
iniiwan itong mga
natutulog
to
to
eh.
eh.
Kaya nga kung saan na lang natin iniiwan, di ba? Actually, yun yung nakalimutan na lang gawin dito. Yung may talagang resting place or mga inns man lang. Di ba? Para mag-rest ka. Yun nga ang wala. Ba't kaya?
Pakita mo yung hold attack ni Bedo. Okay, wait. So yung kay Beidou is actually a bit different, I think.
Oo.
Kesa kay ano. Actually, yung mga charged attack ng mga Claymore users is parang the way I see it is at least 4 actions and then iniiba-iba nila yung order no actions.
Pero si
Ayan,
Beidou iba, sinisipa niya yung ano niya eh,
Oo. Sinisipa niya yung
claymore niya. Kasi
Claymore.
mabigat.
Ayun. Ayan. Ito yung kay Beidou. Then, yung kay Noel is... Yung kay Noel,
That
paikot kasi
simply
yung kay Noel
won't
talaga.
do.
Tsaka si
Especially since I imagine you still have
Si
a
Razor.
very
Paikot din ba yung kay
long
Razor?
journey
Oo,
ahead
paikot
of
si
you.
Yung kay Chong Yun.
Paikot din.
Tapos kay Shin yan,
Paikot din.
paikot din ba?
Oo, lahat ng charge nila.
Ayo, paikot nga din. Ayun.
Si ano lang ang iba, Beidou, si Dilo.
Beidou sa kasi Dilo. Si Yula,
Yula.
mas iba si Yula. Oo.
Iba. Ayun. Pero karamihan ng ibang panay spin attack. Hindi ko alam kung bakit.
Si Noel, Razor, and Chonger's Beyblade.
Oo, mga Beybladers yung mga yun.
Mga Beyblade.
Mga
Teka
ano
nga.
sila, mga fidget spinner.
Alam niya, fidget spinner.
Kulit yun.
Teka, research nga ako. Saan ba yung cloth Genshin?
Fortunately, I have not yet grown so old as to see my
Diamond in the
subspace
rough.
creation
No, not that.
abilities atrophy.
Serenity.
Oh, did my friends never mention that to
Yeah.
you? Well then, it is a blessing we old folks once received from Rex
How to
Lapis.
enter and leave.
Part of our illumination, if you will.
Okay, so tips. Serenity pot. Okay.
Nasa website nila, di ba? Naglabas sila ng thread.
Ah.
Oo nga, discussion.
Ito nga. Ito yung tips nga. Permissions, no. Hindi. Teka. There are 7 types of wood that can be collected in the current version. So, birches sa Windwhale Highland. Ano to? Kiwa tree is Starfell Valley. Sorry, let me
So, iba-iba
Let
pa
me-
yung
yung
iba-iba pa yung puno, depende rin sa lugar.
yeah, I think so.
Hindi lang dahil
Teka.
sa
Window capture tayo. Yan. So yan.
Actually, gagawin ko din yan. Wait lang.
Add tayo ng window. Yan. Okay. So ayan. It's visible na sa stream. Let me just ano to? Let me just lakihan ko lang siya. Nabusan ako na English.
Teka lang, maglalagay din ako.
Okay,
Ano to?
so
Display capture ba? Tama ba? Ay, window capture,
window
sorry.
capture. Okay. So for birches, nasa Windwell Highland siya. So 7 types of wood. Birches in Windwell Highland. Piwa tree is nasa Starfell Valley and Beechwood Plains. Pines again nasa Dragon's Pine. Sunbear trees which is nasa Minlin sa Kalisha, so nasa Liwe to. Bamboo is sa Kingshe. Kingshe ba is nasa Beechwood Plains?
Chingse siya.
Kingshe ba siya? Or
Chingsa.
whatever. Chingsha. Whatever. Sorry po, hindi po ako Chinese and I don't know how to speak Mandarin or Cantonese or Fukien.
Teka lang. No guest in your realm. Pwede, okay.
Cedars is nasa Starfell Valley and then Fierce is nasa Gilsong Hill and Starfell Valley. Okay. So, for the dice, kailangan ng
so
saan
pwede nga
to?
yung malalaking puno. So, birches, Windwhale Highland,
wala pa silang part 2. So,
Tapos, Jin si Bam.
currently hanggang ano pa lang yung meron sila. Hanggang Woods pa lang sila. Saka yung sa Dai.
Faber's Fur sa Gale's Song. Ano yun? May die pa? Bakit may die?
Kailangan ng Dai dun sa ano, sa teapot. Merong ibang items na kailangan ng Dai.
O tapos merong
Dun
part one
kay
lang
Tabi.
pala siya.
Kay Tabi.
Tabi! Sabi ko nung una, di ba, tanuki siya, parang raccoon. Hindi pala, ibon pala yun.
Ibon siya. Maya.
Hindi kasi yung ano niya, yung design niya, kala ko malaking yung malaking mata ng tanuki, yung parang eye bags. Kala ko ganun siya.
Kahapon nga sabi niya during the quest, merong line si Paimon, sabi niya, "Oh, there's a finch."
A finch.
So sinearch ko, ano yung finch? Sinearch ko,
Ibon.
pagting ko. Hindi, I mean, alam ko na ibon, but anong klase ng ibon? Pagtingin ko, Maya.
Maya. Alaking Maya, ha?
As in Maya. Oo,
Ito siya si Tabi.
pag tiningnan mo siya sa Google, Maya.
Upo.
Maya yung term, yung ano niya. Oh, okay. So, does that mean na pwede ding... Ay, hindi nga pala pwedeng mag-ano dito.
Pero mayroong traveling tabi. Well, hindi tabi pangalan niya, pero traveling nakalahi.
Traveling tabi.
Traveling tabi. Oo. Sorry na. Basta yun, hindi ko nakuha yung pangalan niya. Pero siya, parang yellowish na na Maya. Meron siya.
Kasi Maya talaga sila, promise.
Yellow na finch. Yellow finch yun.
Hindi ko nga alam kung paano yung gagawin kong ano dito eh. Kung paano yung gagawin kong pag-aayos eh. Kasi I haven't played Sims.
Well,
So,
very easy. Definitely easy. Kasi meron naman din siyang guide. Parang sa dorm ng ano nito? Honkai. Ganun. May housing system din sila doon.
Well, yung Honkai though has this dorm, di ba?
Chibi-chibi nga lang sila, chibi-chibi.
Chibi. Puro chibi sila.
Floating abode. Yung floating abode yung kinuha mo.
Yes.
Okay. Actually, yun din ang bala ko talaga nung una kasi yun nga, iba siya sa lahat.
Yun yung pinakaiba kasi. Yung other landscape kasi normal na eh. So, doon tayo sa abnormal. Ano yung sabi ni Kian? Alam ko na kung paano sirain yung shield ng Ice Cube. Akala ko para makasira ng shield ng Ice Cube. Hindi pala. Yeah,
Babato natin siya
pabalik. Natapos na namin yung the Ice Fidget Spinner. Kasi mukha talaga siyang fidget spinner. Totoo lang. Paglalagay ko yung mga puno.
Ang kulit ng comment sa baba nung post. Nakalagay doon yay, deforestation. Kakaloka.
Hindi ko lang alam
player noises.
Hindi ko lang alam kung paano ayun. Diyos ko. WASD pala tupan yung camera. Nagpapakahirap ako. Ba't wala akong makita na cursor saan ka naglalaro, kuya? Sa PC ako naglalaro pero i-hide ko yung cursor sa stream. May option kasi na ganun sa OBS.
Talaga ba? Kita yung cursor ko.
Meron ganung
Paano po, charot?
Well, kung sa PC ka naglalaro.
Hindi kasi nag-share ako ng
Hindi,
iba pala yan, iba pala. Sorry.
Yung cursor mo kasi is from PS4.
Oo nga.
Diba? Wherein yung sa akin, yung cursor ko kasi is directly sa PC talaga. Tabi!
Yan. Okay, tuloy na natin si Madam Ping. Nagkikwento pa si Madam Ping.
Tapos si Toby, yung idol animation niya parang si Ganyu.
Subspace creation is the ability to create a small,
ano siya sa akin, Kian? Visible siya sa akin, hindi lang siya visible sa inyo. doon sa mga viewers.
Alin na rin?
Yung cursor.
Okay.
Saan ako makakakuha ng ng fabric? Fudge.
Teka lang, so si Madam Ping ay tao pero illuminated siya? Tama?
No.
O adaptize din siya na nagkatawang tao?
Adaptize siya na nagkatawang tao.
Kasi sabi niya, we were illuminated by Rex Lapis or parang binigyan sila ng additional ability. Yun, to make subspace creation, sabi niya.
Okay. Teka. Window capture ulit tayo. Meron ako nakitang fabric how to.
Saan? So, how you love din?
Hindi. Game with. So, fabric location, how to farm. So, fabric information. So, how to get. Choose dice, creation, in the crafting menu, and Serenity Pot. Okay, so Serenity Pot ka magka-craft. Using furnishing materials. Crafting. No. Wait lang.
The
Talaga, yun lang
teapot that
yung
you entered previously
How to
was
get.
a little trinket created
Well, you know how to
using
get
that
niya.
ability.
Okay.
In the eyes of an adeptus,
Okay,
creating a
so
magic
Kitabi.
teapot world is
Kitabi
just
din.
child's play, huh?
Si Tabi ay taga-hobby.
Yeah. Dun sa bottle menu. Okay. So you need silk flower.
Ay,
So
ang
I'm
dami kong
guessing
silk
na
flower.
sobrang dami mo nun.
Ang dami akong silk
Yeah.
flower. Sobra.
You need silk flower.
Kasi akala ko siya. May character ba gumagamit ng silk flower? Para
Yes.
Sino?
Si Shinchao.
Oh, talaga?
Oo. So take note of this. 80 silk flower produces 800 fabrics.
Ay, pwede.
800. Okay.
Buti nga hindi silkworms eh. Good luck, diba?
Diba? Tapos, Sunsetia is 1:1 red dye.
Apple, meron ba apple?
Wala. Sunsetia yung nandito. I'm not sure kung merong iba, but Sunsetia yung meron sa akin ngayon.
Kaya pala nakita ko yung sunsetya kanina dito sa sa dye. Ayan.
Well, carrot.
Carrots
You
at
can
saka
also use carrot. Yes.
Chili, ano to? Juyon chili.
Giant chili. Valberry. You can also use Valberry for red dye. So sa 1:1 lahat 'yon.
Ano yung yellow? Alam ko yung yellow berry eh. Pero yung blue, ano yung blue?
Yes, berry yung yellow. Blue is wolf hawk. Wolf hawk
yun ang
and mint.
Yun ang pinaka scarce, wolf hook.
Oo. Wolf hawk and mint.
Well, mint, madaming mint. Push.
Although ginagamit ko kasi yung mint for crafting foods. So, yeah. Oh, okay. So, yellow is either core lapis or berry.
Core lapis. Okay.
Well, madami naman akong berry and I don't really use those.
True.
So, I will create 300 na yellow dye. Then, blue.
So, pag nag-craft tayo ng material ng cabinet, ng kasama yung dye.
Yes, you will use it.
Amazing.
Sige. 100 na wolf hook yung gagamitin ko for the blue dye.
Nakalimutan ko na naman yung converter ko. Hindi ko na naman nagamit.
Kahapon ko lang nagamit yung converter. Totoo lang.
After nitong si Madam P.
Oh, indeed,
Grabe,
the
oh.
teapot is nothing
Yung
to
yung
boast
isang,
of.
I think this is
One such
one
as
of the
myself
freebies
must
dun sa
depart from
web
this
event.
realm to create a world of one's
16
own.
hours ang
Rex
crafting.
Lapis, on the other hand,
What?
moved mountains and seas.
Folding screen, furniture.
That is what one might call an
meron tayong
exercise
isa,
of true power.
Well, yeah, oo. Pero still, 16 hours. Tapos 14. Diyos ko, 4 hours ang bibilangin pala dito.
Hindi siya instant. Kahit na magical si Tabi.
Well, you can use yung vial of adeptal speed. I think, I'm just not sure kung gaano kabilis yung
boost niya.
May boost niya. But yes, you can use that. Merong free na 10 from Tubby. But still, God.
Sabi ni
hours
Tabi,
ang ano.
maawa naman kayo. Manual ko gagawin to. Nasa loob pa ako ng takore. Huwag kayong magulo.
Yeah.
Mahirap gumawa ng ng divider
Grabe. Tapos may rocks pa.
Oo nga. All in one si Tabi, kawawa naman.
Round 1, enter mansion, construct 3 furnishings, reach trust rank 2. How will I reach trust rank? Trust rank.
Alam ko pag ano ba? Kapag meron kang certain number of items yata na nagawa na, doon yata nataas yung trust rank eh. I think.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Ano bang sabi sa explanation ng ano?
Hindi. Para ma-unlock yung trust rank. Teka ha.
Nasa ano yun eh, nando sa 1.5 event.
Let's see. Trust
In-explain nila ng bahagya doon.
Trust rank Genshin Impact. How to increase trust rank? Cannot reach. Ano ba yan? Okay, so sige, for ano na din. For everyone's
But that's
information na
enough
lang. Since
nostalgia for
naka-stream din naman
now.
tayo.
The gift
So
that I
for
have
how
prepared
to
for
increase
you
trust rank,
just requires a few final
trust
materials
rank
to add the
being
finishing touch.
this is being updated. Housing system feature. Trust rank refers to your relationship level with Toby. How to increase crafting and claiming new furniture for the first time increases your trust rank. You can see the trust rank increase above the item in the crafting interface. Let's enter the mansion. Let's see. How will I
That's
enter the
Finding
mansion?
stuff's what we're good at after
Ah,
all.
okay. So, of course, through the door. Ano pa nga ba?
May pinto kasi gamitin.
Kaya nga, sorry na.
Ano
Okay,
na
so-
nga tayo dito para na nga tayo magnanakaw kung saan tayo pumapasok.
Actually,
Diba?
Current. Large furnishings. Okay. Bakit ba? Gusto ko sa gitna yung Gusto ko sa gitna yung bed ko.
Open
Para
concept
pagpa-
naman, diba? Open
Settle
concept.
down now,
Yeah.
children.
Para pagpasok na
There's no
pagpasok ko,
need for you to
nandun
go
agad yung
running
higaan.
hither and thither. I have already found a fleet-footed youngster to prepare what I need.
Yan. Small furnishings. Meron akong 4 na upuan. Dito ka. Sa lumaon nito, tatama rin ako dito paglalagay.
Yan nga yung pinakamatagal. Feeling ko yun yung inaano nila to buy time.
Yeah.
Para ma-distract yung mga players.
Para hindi masyado maramdaman yung bills ng updates.
Oo, totoo.
Ang tagal pa naman minsan mag-update.
Well, nangangako naman sila ng updates every 6 weeks eh. Ngayon nga parang 5 weeks lang, diba?
Oo. But still. Kasi for example, tayo, we usually finish the quests or the story quests
Within 1 week.
within 2 days. Anong 1 week?
True.
Yung kay Hutaw, talagang tinamad lang ako. But yeah, yung main story quest, normally paglabas, tinatapos na agad natin eh. Diba? So, main hall, southeast side. Oh! Okay. You can
What's
actually change.
I doubt
Sige,
that you would
tanggalin
know
natin.
how to find the materials I am searching for. Some of them are very rare indeed these days.
Lagay natin dito. Ang iniisip ko dito, kasi 'di ba dun sa during the live the live stream nung 1.5, they are showing yung characters roaming around.
Hmm.
So, will that be possible? Mm, ba? I don't know.
We'll know first soon. Parang ganun.
Well,
Kaya nga,
for
yun nga yung ano.
starters, I require some shimmer soil from the banks of Dihua Marsh. Back in the day,
Pero ang
it
tagal
could only be
mag-craft, Diyos
found
ko.
where the glazed lilies
16
thrived most
hours.
profusely.
Save changes. Okay, so I guess that increased our track. For wine oak clock furnishing set blueprint. The detailed step-by-step blueprint for setting up wine oak clock, a table and a chair set off and used during the gatherings.
You would have to dig downward,
Sige.
following the roots of the glazed lilies. And if you were lucky enough, you just might find a small patch of shimmer soil
Can we
there.
actually sleep here?
But almost no one has been able to find shimmer soil in this
Floating
manner
abode.
since Dihua Marsh
Depot
came to
energy.
be the way it is today.
Will we actually
Even
be
more
able
difficult to find
sleep
is
here?
Smaragdus
Dito sa ano?
Jadeite, which must be chiseled from the rock of the
Corridor.
chasm. Or so it used to be. Ever since the Blackcliff Forge opened for business, they've slowly but surely stripped the mines all but completely bare of it.
Ngayon ko lang napansin, si Madam Pig may kamukha.
Sino?
Disney character.
Disney character.
Matanda din actually, pero kawig sila. Parang dun yata siya binis, I don't know.
Disney character?
Oo. Matanda din yung, matandang Disney character din. Hindi ko tanda kung anong pangalan eh.
Disney character. Biglang nag-flashback sa akin lahat ng Disney movies.
Oo nga eh. Kasi nakatutok yung mukha ni Madam Ping sa akin. Disney character yung mukha niya. Hindi ko natanda kung sino at kung saan.
Wala pang animation for actually for actually lying down. So you cannot really use your bed yet.
Soon maybe.
Soon, yeah.
O, gumawa ka pa ng bahay, wala ka rin magagawa. Ano totoo?
Kaya nga, diba?
Hindi pa talaga sinama yon, talaga ba?
Ewan. I think they will be rolling it out soon. But yeah. Laki-laki ng bahay mo, hindi ka makahiga.
Standing ano ka, standing ovation ganun.
You can actually Grabe naman, ang hirap. Isa-isang kasi I mean you can only use one or you can only do one.
Wala
Doon
siyang
sa
multiple
queue mo.
crafting?
Wala. You need to level up your your what do you call this? Trust rank pa.
Oh.
Just so that you can
Magkaroon siya ng panibagong queue.
actually yes.
Wow. Yung starting yata ay 250, tama ba?
Not sure. Pero kailangan ko ng alchemy workshop dito. Ang tagal nito. Diyos ko, ang daming Gate, ika-craft mo.
Ate ano?
Pati gate.
Baka pati damo ano natin dyan ha. Hindi naman.
Actually, meron.
Or flower bed.
I'm although I'm not sure. Hindi, pagkakaalam ko walang ano 'to eh. Walang
In any
alchemy
case,
dito sa workshop na 'to eh.
Seragis Jadeite is an Adepti
Kasi
treasure,
free yung
and the
workshop
Adeptal power
actually.
within is not something that most humans can
Traveling
withstand.
merchant north of the
Extended
stone
contact
gates.
with it is, in fact, harmful to humans. Goodness
Sige na nga,
knows if
yung
that child will succeed in finding
ano
these
i-craft
items.
house.
Well, since you're an Adeptus, Granny, the person
Gusto ko
you
ng
asked
house.
for help, they must be an
Another house.
Adeptus too,
Masyado
right?
maliit yung house na default.
Well, pwede pa rin palakihin, di ba?
Hindi.
Yes.
Actually, yung default
I
house, yung
suppose
default
she
mansion,
does count
as
as
is
an
siya.
Adeptus.
And then you can craft additional houses.
Ah,
Merong mga mabibiling house dito. Actually, madami siya.
She counts?
This
How come
will
there are
take
so many
more
Adepti in
than...
Liyue Harbor? We
I
seem to
don't
bump
know.
into them all the time.
Basta matagal
Feels
to.
like even when
I'm
you
pretty
go
sure
out
of
to
that.
eat,
Matagal
you'll be sitting next to an Adeptus and
gawin
never
to.
even know it.
Panlibang nga to sa players.
Oh, maybe so. Who can say? A fair few of
Tabi.
my old friends are rather
Gusto
fond
ko yung
of
gusto ko yung art ni
mundane
Tabi.
mortal life,
Nakakita
after
na ako sa
all.
kanya.
di ba? Saka pag sa malayo, kung yung una kasing inano nila yan sa event, yung sa live event nila, tawag dito, pag sa malayo, mukha siyang mukha talaga siyang raccoon, yung tanuki talaga na may makeup na ano. Pero pag nung nagkaroon ng ibang angle na medyo mas malapit, sabi ko, ay ibon pala to. Ibon na nasa takore. Ano ba naman to?
Di
Pero
ba?
pag malayo mukha siyang tanuki na may beard. Mukha siyang ganun. Kasi yung pinakabit
Sandbear.
niya parang ilong. Pag sa malayo.
Saan nga ba yung Sandbearer Wood? Hindi ko matandaan.
Atag dito, yung yellow, yung mga yellow mga yellow na puno.
Hindi ko matandaan kasi kung saang to?
Tingnan mo sa
saang
interactive map
location.
ng MiHoYo kung nandun, kung show doon. Di ba may
Up na ba
interactive
yung
map
one?
na? Yes, up na.
Okay.
Pero hindi
Last
ko pa
time kasi
na-try.
hindi pa up eh.
Hindi ko pa na-try kung anong nasa search.
Minlin and Lisha. Teka, magano tayo. Kuha tayo.
Hampasin mo na lahat ng puno dyan kung ano makuha mo.
Kaya nga, live tayo. Sana yung di ba? Sana yung Serenity Pot is na-equip din. Sana dagdagan nila yung equipable gadget.
Speaking of, si Serenity Pot ba ay consumable? O
No,
it stays?
no. It stays.
Kasi parang nakita ko merong yung sa live event, dalawang Serenity Pot. So, bakit dalawa? Ano to, consumable?
Hindi, it stays.
Weird. Siguro ay mali lang sa kanila.
Nasaan yung
I'm
Minlin?
back, Granny.
Uy, si Yanfei! Dumating na si Yanfei!
Oh,
Yeah,
I
medyo
don't
mahaba
believe we've
yun.
met.
Actually. Minlin.
Allow
Nasaan yung
me
Minlin?
to do the honors. This child here is
Commonly
Yen
found in the
Fei.
area around
She's the
Minlin
one
and
helping run
Lisha.
some errands for me.
I
Yen
don't
Fei,
think na aabot
I believe you
yung
already
aabot
heard of the
ako
traveler and
ako.
his traveling companion.
Yanfei ba sabi daw parang dragon horns, pero feeling ko to yung usa. Anong pangalan nun?
Usa? Antler?
O yung antler, o yung sa usa. Anong pangalan nung at that time na yun?
Si Moon Carver?
Yung Moon Carver. Feeling ko kay Moon Carver tong si Yanfei Pero sabi dragon ears daw, dragon, daw tong niya. Tong horns niya.
Wala, ewan ko. Para sa akin kasi parang dragon siya eh.
So siya, yung kay Rex Lapis, yung dragon niya, ganun.
Yeah, I think so.
So half dragon tong isang to. Kasi sabi nga ni Madam Ping, I guess you can consider her as an adepti, pero hindi nga eh. Hindi nga daw kasi wala naman siyang contract. Illuminated beast lang siya.
Parang hindi, si Ganyo may contract si Ganyo eh.
Oo, kaya siya adepti. Kasi parang to be uh, uh, called as an adepta, you should have a contract. Eh si Yanfei kasi hindi eh, free siya eh.
Of course, who hasn't?
Okay.
Much has been written
Pero
about you
legal
in the
advisor
Millilith's
siya.
records.
Diba?
You became one of Liu's
Ayun,
most
nakakuha na
wanted
ako
after the
Sunbearer.
Millilith marked you as a suspect following the
Doon sa
incident
mga
at the Rite
puno
of
lang talaga
Dissension.
pwedeng kumuha, hindi
After
pwede
which,
sa mga
you
bush.
fought off the Millilith at Julian Karst and made contact with the Fatui. Before finally defeating an ancient god together with Granny and her associates, and subsequently being cleared of any and all suspicion by the Chiseng. What a shame.
Nagkaroon din ng reason yung mga puno dito.
We had. Well, I can't say that I would have been able to clear you of suspicion immediately, but it certainly would have been less,
I'll try to
embarrassing for you.
lang yung isang Kasi it's almost 9.
Oh yeah.
Allow me to introduce myself once more. I'm Yenfei, a legal advisor. Got a legal problem? You can come right to me.
Benny boy.
I think tama ka doon sa sinabi mong dragon tong isang to.
Bakit?
May napansin ako nung nagpan yung camera niya from the waist up. Nung pinakita yung niya.
Yung yung kamay niya.
Mayroon siyang
Meron
scales.
din siya sa kamay.
Oo,
Yes, meron din siya sa kamay. Huwag mo na isipin. Diyos ko naman.
Next time maglagay tayo dito, SPG. Lagyan natin doon sa tabi.
Alam ko yung iniisip mo, pero wag mo na isipin. Huwag mo na ituloy.
SPG, lagyan mo sa tabi.
Oh, yes. Here's my business card. You'll find it has my contact details and office address.
Ayan, kita ko na yung
Keep it
kamay
handy.
niya. Oo nga, meron nga.
Meron siya sa kamay.
Yung binigay niya yung business card niya. Yung nakita ko naman kasi yung sa may atag dito, abdominal area niya, nung nagpan yung from, di ba meron siyang box? Tapos yung niya, yung vision niya, paakyat, doon ko nakita.
If you have an urgent issue, just leave me a note at this address. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, I offer a very generous discount for first-time
Ang makulit
customers.
dyan, sa niya tinatago yung yung malaking book.
Ewan, hindi ko alam.
Di ba? Bigla-bigla lumalabas yung malaking book dyan.
Oo. Nandun yung mga yung mga contracts, ini-interpret yung mga contracts tsaka yung laws. Kulit no, legal advisor, dragon.
Alright, Yanfei, alright. Let's get to the business at hand.
Dragons are known to be
these
naman
two
kasi,
are in
to be
dire need of legal
wise.
assistance at the moment.
Kaya siguro dragon yung piniling sa kanya.
Actually si Ganyu, hindi naman siya di ba?
Si Ganyu is a Chilin or Kirin or ano ba?
Yung yung pero Kirin's are di ba? Normally lightning type, hindi ice type.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Pero well, siguro ibang pero oo nga, tama ka doon. Kirin nga siya.
Kirin siya.
Oo.
Yeah. Grabe, 14 hours.
Bukas mo na, balikan mo na lang bukas.
Bukas pa to. Sige, great. Then how is required to get beat
You'll
up?
have to excuse Yanfei.
Okay. So
She's
instant
always been
siya.
like this. Ever the talkative
Once
one
na
when it comes to
ginamit
her
mo
own
yung
affairs.
vial of adeptal speed.
Saan ako kukuha? Sorry?
Yung first 10 will be free. It will be given to you right after matapos mo yung quest ni Tubby. And then you can buy it for 10 coins each, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, it automatically finishes once you use it.
So kahit gano'ng katagal
Yun.
pa.
Yes.
Okay.
Dalawa na bahay ko. Walang niya.
Ay, may specific bahay ba? For each
No.
domain? O kahit anong klaseng bahay?
That I don't know. Kasi dito sa domain ko, green yung default na bahay, and then there are blueprints that you can use to actually what do you call this?
I mean, anong theme nung bahay? Mondstadt type ba yung
Liwe.
bahay?
Liwe.
Sige, malaman na. Si ano ba? Si Ken ay dito? May bahay na ba siya? May domain
Wala
na
pa
siya?
yata. Wala pa yata.
Kasi parang nung pinakita nila sa live event, yung
What
halimbawa kung pipiliin mo yung sa may dragon spine, yung bahay naman na tinayo nila is parang magandang shogun type na bahay.
Na bahay. I think they are planning to add that naman.
Sana nga.
And once na maging once na available yon, I will be sure to get that. Yes.
Feeling ko naman pwede natin buksan yung 3 domain eh. Kasi nandun lang siya.
Well, sana. I mean, teka nga. Sige, create na lang tayo.
1 minute ka na lang, maglalaging ka na huy.
Yeah, I know. That's why binibless ko na.
Sige lang.
Okay, so I guess that's it for this stream. Well, nakapag-run naman tayo ng so yeah. That's it for this stream. I will be ending the stream now as I need to log in for work at around, I don't know, now.
Yeah, now.
Now, yeah. So, thank you everyone who've watched, who've shared, who've liked. Hindi ko sure kung kailan ulit, but yeah, thank you. This is Ikaruga Gaming together with Rave Gaming on Discord. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
But, ayun. Sige, few na lang. But
Sige,
yeah, dalawa na yung bahay ko, pero yung mismong second house hindi ko mapasok.
Bakit?
Hindi nagbubukas. Walang So I think this is just props.
Okay.
This is just a prop, yeah. So yeah. Okay. Lagot na ako. Thank you.
Sige.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. That was Ikaruga Gaming, guys. Bilis lang mag-stream ako. Siguranin ko lang to, tapos we'll see kung ano oras ako mag-stream. So let's see here.
Paimon was gonna ask the same question. You seem really different from the ones we've met before.
An Adeptus? I guess. Kinda. My old man said he was one anyway. He mentioned that he once campaigned with Rex Lapis for a long old time, and then after that was all over, he went back and married my mom. They had me, and once I was all grown up, the two of them upped and left on a journey, leaving me with Granny here.
Well, that's a bit casual for an Adeptus. Aren't you guys supposed to sign solemn contracts to protect Liyue Harbor and all that stuff? What do you mean he just went back to get married?
Well, My dad did say that he'd talked it through with Rex Lapis and that he was fine with it. Even contributed towards the wedding gift, apparently. Anyway, let's not dwell on that too much. So, Granny, I've gotten a hold of most of the stuff you asked for, except for Smaragdus Jadeite. I couldn't find any at all. The chasm's been sealed off, and there's just no way in. Couldn't secure any documentation either. Looks like the Ministry of Civil Affairs is serious about keeping it strictly locked down.
Is that so? But Smaragdus Jadeite is really rather essential. Yenfei, are you sure you can't find some other way? They have helped Liyue greatly, after all. It is only right that they are duly rewarded.
I know, Granny, you've told me 1,000 times already. Well, the chasm's definitely a no-go, but there's still a chance we can figure out some alternative means of procurement. Hold on a moment. Let me have a look.
Whoa, that's a really thick book. What kind of things do you write in there?
Commercial consultancy. Or... Snezhnaya? Ah, found him. Crossel. A Snezhnayan merchant who once came to me with some legal queries on certain articles in the legal codices. If my memory serves, all of them had to do with rare ores. He mentioned that he was considering acquiring some Smaragdus Jadeite to make hairpins, and wanted to know if there were any legal ramifications that he should be aware of. Said he was planning to sell them in Snezhnaya. So, I guess I'll go look for him. With any luck, he'll have gotten his hands on some Smaragdus Jadeite, or might have an idea of where we can find some. Oh, you want to join me? I suppose that's no problem, but it's best if you just stand by and watch. If you try to get involved, you'll only risk placing yourself in legal jeopardy.
Wow, an Adeptus imploring us to avoid incurring legal liability. Well, that's a first for sure. Best we be a little more careful than usual while we're with her.
Right back, guys.
The damned will sooner die again than lay a hand on me. Those memories. So dark.
Back. Find castle.
Why'd they have to give me that transfer?
Hello, Mr. Crossell. How's business been?
Oh, good, very good. All thanks to your advice, Miss Yanfei. What brings you here today?
You're too kind. I was simply doing my job. Now, I believe that the last time we met, you mentioned that you were looking to source some smaragdus jadeite to make hairpins. Have there been any further developments on this front?
Well, yes, as a matter of fact, in the end I did acquire a small piece of Smaragdus Jadeite and had it fashioned into a pair of hairpins. Miss Yanfei, might I presume that you have an interest in the hairpins? I must apologize, I've already rented them out to a lady named Xiao. If you'd like to inspect them, you may have to wait quite some time.
Wait, isn't Smaragdus Jadeite really rare? Aren't you worried about the hairpins getting damaged or lost while they're being rented out?
No, I'm not worried in the slightest, because I signed a contract with Ms. Xiao before renting them to her. The contract makes it quite clear that if she loses or damages the item in question, she must compensate me for its full original value. In return, I included a clause that guarantees the Smaragdus Jadeite is genuine, with a penalty of 10 times the item's value payable by me to Ms. Xiao in the event that it is shown to be a fake.
Guaranteed genuine, with 10 times the value payable if this claim is shown to be false. Yes, these terms are very clear indeed.
Of course. This way, both the client and I have the assurance we need. To ensure fairness, each of us has retained an original copy of the contract.
In that case, might you know where Miss Xiao lives? We'd like to pay her a visit and have a look at the hairpins.
Oh, of course. She wrote her address down when we signed our contract. Here, I'll mark it on your map for you.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Crossell. We'll be off now.
I should open a store here.
Oh, whatever shall I do? Yes, that's me. Is there something I can help you with?
How do you do, Miss Xiao? We understand from Mr. Crossell that you recently rented a pair of hairpins from him. My associates and I are very interested in them. Would you mind letting us take a look at them?
The hairpins? I can't lend them to you right now. I've lost them. I don't know how it could have happened. I always kept them right by my side, and I hadn't even worn them yet. I spent so much money on them. If I have to pay their original value, there's no way I could come up with that amount of money on such short notice. My family is in the ore business too, but business has been suffering ever since the chasm was sealed off. We now have a backlog of paid-up orders just sitting around, so we've been having to purchase some stock from other ore merchants to complete them. A big banquet is coming up in a few days, and several ore merchants I know of will be there. I need this opportunity to mingle and discuss prices. That's what the hairpins were for, to keep up appearances. I can't have them looking down on me. But now that I've lost the hairpins, what will I do?
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense of deja vu?
Would you really? I sent a commission to the Adventurers Guild, but I haven't heard anything back from them yet.
Hold on. Don't run off looking for the hairpins just yet. Miss Xiao, would you let me have a look at the rental contract you signed?
Huh? Well, I mean, sure, I have it right here. Here you are.
Let me see.
That's right! Yanfei said she's a legal advisor, didn't she? Maybe she can help Juqiao somehow.
Reading the contract? The terms are very clear, and they do indeed stipulate that you must pay Mr. Crossell the original value of the hairpins as compensation for the loss. Furthermore, the contract also expressly states that the amount of compensation must take current market prices into account. And given the rarity of Smaragdus Jadeite, I fear that the final amount of compensation may end up being significantly higher as a result.
Even higher? Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Juchao looks like she's about to faint.
However, all of this is assuming that it is indeed genuine Smaragdus Jadeite that was inlaid into the hairpins.
Did you really have to pause before saying that part? Anyway, the hairpins are lost, so how exactly would we be able to find out if the Jadeite is genuine or not? Whichever way you look at it, we've got to start by finding those hairpins.
Except that if we found the hairpins, there'd no longer be any need to check whether the Jadeite is genuine, would there?
Seems right.
Please. Please, Don't trouble yourselves over this. The fact is, I lost the item, and I should pay compensation per the contract. However much it is, I will have to pay it. My family are merchants, after all. It's vital that we keep our word and respect our contracts. Now that it's come to this, I really shouldn't keep Crossel in the dark any longer. I'll go and inform him of the issue, and then negotiate the amount of compensation.
Yes, legally speaking, it seems this is the most sensible course of action. But before that, I have some questions about the hairpins. So hold on a moment, Mr. Chow. When you first touched the hairpins, what did you feel?
What did I feel? Well, I remember that the gemstones set into the pins were perfectly smooth to the touch, like the finest quality jade. My family has seen much jade pass through its hands in the past, so I am quite certain of my judgment in this matter.
Smooth to the touch, finest quality jade. No, it's nothing. I just need to re-examine a few things. Let's head over to Mr. Crossel's.
Ah, Miss Yanfei, you've returned. With Miss Jiqiao in tow, too, I see. How are the hairpins? I trust you're quite satisfied with them?
About that.
You lost them? Are you serious? Do you have any idea how expensive they were?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Truly I am. I'll pay the compensation as per our contract. Every last mora.
Mora? Do you have any idea what I had to go through to get my hands on that Smaragdus Jadeite? I just don't... Forget it. Talking won't bring them back. Since Miss Yanfei is here, I suppose we can just have her estimate the amount that needs to be paid.
No problem. But before I can give an official estimate, I'll need to do a little market research. Ah, yes. And if I may just confirm again, it was in fact genuine Smaragdus Jadeite inlaid into the hairpins, correct?
Of course. Genuine article guaranteed, or I pay back 10 times the value.
All right, understood. I'll conduct some market research, and once I'm back, I'll provide an official assessment of the sum owed by Mr. Chow in compensation. Please wait here, Mr. Crossel.
Thank you very much. How could she lose my hairpins? She'd better pay every last mora that they're worth.
Looks like I'll have to find some way to raise that money.
Please wait, Mr. Chow. I have something to discuss with you. It's not convenient to speak here, so let's find somewhere that we can sit and talk in more detail.
Those memories. So dark.
I can't believe the well got polluted.
Miss Yenfei, what is this about? Are you here to tell me how much I owe?
No. What I wanted to talk about is, there is a chance that the ore inlaid on those hairpins may not be Smaragdus Jadeite after all.
What do you mean? Are you implying that you already sneaked off and found them?
Obviously not. I'm no adventurer, let alone a member of the guild. I don't run thankless, time-consuming errands for a living. Let's just say I made some deductions. I don't know if Granny told you this, but Smaragdus Jadeite is found deep underground and contains very concentrated elemental energy. If mere mortals come into contact with it, well, they'll be sick in the best case. And in the worst case, they could even experience a dramatic change of personality. It most certainly would not be smooth to the touch. Mr. Chow, did you at any time feel unwell while the hairpins were in your possession?
No, not at all. I felt perfectly fine the whole time. Not even the slightest bit unwell. I didn't feel anything special at all, in fact.
Now that is strange. I noticed earlier that there were elemental traces in Mr. Crossel's vicinity. If I've deduced correctly, he may still have the Smaragdus Jadeite in his possession.
If that's the case, we should go confront him right now and expose his dirty scam right to his face!
Absolutely not. If we were to confront him now, there's no way he would admit to it. Eventually, he would find some argument to compel us to leave. And then, he'd throw the Smaragdus Jadeite into the sea the moment we were gone. After that, he would simply insist that Mr. Chow pay up per the contract. He would lose nothing. Meanwhile, we would have to look under every stone in Liyue, hoping and praying that the hairpins do actually still exist somewhere in this world.
So vivid that Paimon thinks it might be experience talking.
Oh, it certainly is. I've seen my fair share of situations like this, and brute force methods are certainly one way of resolving them. Fortunately, I have far more elegant solutions at my disposal. I'll share them with you in due course.
Well then, since you're so experienced in dealing with problems like this, perhaps you could help me, Miss Yunfei.
Oh, that won't be a problem. But first, Mr. Chow, can I ask you to please sign this contract?
Huh? Does there have to be a contract for everything? Paimon can't even keep track. It feels like Yanfei is even more concerned with them than a certain someone else we know.
These are my formal terms of engagement. Everything prior to now has just been pro bono advice. But for me to investigate any further, I require a written contract. Any work commissioned but not bound by a contract cannot be relied upon.
I understand. Then I will be glad to place this matter into your capable hands if you will take it, Miss Yunfei.
No problem. Just sign here, and I'll sign too. Okay. Now write your address here, and then sign on this page as well. And I'll also need your signatures on pages 5, 7, and on the very last page. Finally, if you could just use this ink pad to make a handprint over here.
This contract has so many pages. Paimon's all out of brain juice again.
Alright, that should do it. My fees are the same as always, and they're written in the contract. Have a look through and let me know if you have any questions.
I've had a read through. Everything checks out.
Well then, here's your copy of the contract. I will retain the other copy. Not for now, no. Despite how intractable this problem might sound, it will actually be quite straightforward to resolve, once we've got some things squared away. I don't believe you have been part of an investigation like this before, in which case, hopefully this should be quite the experience.
Miss Yunfei, I have to ask, why are you helping me?
Because, as it happens, I'm currently trying to acquire some Smaragdus Jadeite myself. I noticed strong traces of geoenergy around Mr. Crossel, so perhaps he has, in fact, secured some. Whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not is a separate matter, but either way, it's a lead. As long as we follow it, who knows? We might just be able to get our hands on some Smaragdus Jadeite. Also, the idea of someone abusing the law to their advantage, I won't stand for it. But again, let's not dwell on this. Let's go to... where can we find someone who processes ore? Ha! I've got it! Let's pay a visit to Chateau, the boss of the Jade Mystery. He's a professional when it comes to working with stone and ore. If Mr. Crossel had his ore worked on at all, Chateau would undoubtedly have been his first choice.
Why, hello there, honored customers. Welcome to... Oh! It's you, Miss Yanfei. Is something the matter? Surely not more spurious claims that my jade betting is rigged and no one can ever win? Oh, I swear on all that is sacred.
No, nothing of the sort. Has a Snezhnine merchant named Crossel enlisted your ore processing services recently by any chance?
A Snezhnine merchant named Crossel, you say? I do remember that. He brought me a piece of ore, claiming that it was Smaragdus Jadeite. That was the first time I'd ever encountered it, so I had no way of telling if it was really Smaragdus Jadeite or not. But if a customer insists, far be it from me to contradict them. He was quite generous with his money, too, so I didn't give it too much thought. I processed the ore as per his request.
Do you have any leftover debris from your work on it?
Why, yes. It was my first time encountering this ore, after all, so I kept a few loose shavings to study myself later. They're right over there, in fact.
Thank you, sir. We'll take a look at them.
Betting on Jade?
Oh, what should I try this time?
Try your luck betting on Jade?
Huh? If my eyes don't deceive me, the cross-sections and patterning suggest that these are Smaragdus nephrite shavings. Yes, it's not particularly rare, nor is it especially valuable. It's used to make jewelry all the time. I've heard it said that Smaragdus nephrite is in fact the outer layer of Smaragdus jadeite, though no one's ever proven it.
A thin layer of separation, huh?
If you must see for yourself, try examining these shavings for traces of elemental energy. Smaragdus nephrite is an entirely ordinary ore, containing no elemental energy whatsoever.
Is that so? Well, we might as well give elemental side a shot. So, did you find anything? So they really are different. But wait, how come Jichao was able to tell what it was just by looking at the shards? That's pretty awesome.
There's nothing special to it. It just so happens that I've come across a great many of these in my time. These two stones actually look very similar. Someone without a deep understanding of them would find it very difficult to tell them apart. There may be only a subtle difference for the casual viewer, but that translates to an astronomical difference in terms of the market price. And, I'm sure, a significant difference in the cost of having them carved into shape.
All right, let's focus up. We're going off on a tangent.
But, never mind, Shirto. Why would Mr. Crossell...
Unusual actions have unusual reasons behind them. Let's take some of these shavings back to Chateau.
What should I try this time?
Miss Yanfei? Might I be so bold as to inquire,
If you could just confirm for me once more, sir. Mr. Crossell did indeed claim that the ore he brought to your store was in fact Smaragdus Jadeite, did he not?
Yes, that's right. I still have a record of the job with me, in fact. Here. It says quite clearly, 1 chunk Smaragdus Jadeite, uncut.
Then I have no further questions. But could I borrow the processing record and these stone shavings?
Of course. But might I ask why you need them?
Oh, I have my reasons. Ah, yes. Please sign here on this affidavit. This document shall serve as signed proof that these stone shavings originated from the, ore that Mr. Crossell brought to your store. Please read it carefully.
Yes, I see. Forgive me for asking again, Miss Yanfei, but might I know the nature of the incident on this occasion?
I wouldn't say there's been an incident, just a minor issue. Thank you, sir. I'll take these with me.
With this hard evidence to back us up, Crossell won't dare try to deny what he did.
On the contrary, this is far from sufficient to build a case. We need to find something a little more compelling. If you want to make jewelry, you need a professional jewelsmith. Let me think. Jewelry. Nope. Aha! Got it! Sinxie. She often helps people to find a jewelsmith. Let's go pay her a visit.
Well, that was quick. How come you know so many people?
Because lots of people come to me for legal advice every day. As you know, Liyue Harbor is the city of contracts. And contracts, well, I should say laws, are very important to us. But the amendments made by the Tianquan to our laws are unnecessarily complicated. How can I put this? It just seems like they're hard to understand and impossible to finish. As such, legal advisors like myself provide quite the popular service indeed.
So you help them make sense of the law. But didn't you say that it's hard to understand and impossible to finish?
Yes, well, that's no obstacle because I've memorized all the legal codices.
You memorized them?
You sound surprised. Knowing the law inside out is a legal advisor's bread and butter, you know?
Oh, Miss Yanfei, it's you. Has something happened? Did the client from last time,
Have no further trouble from then on? Yes, of course. I'm just here to ask you a few questions. Has a merchant by the name of Crossell asked you to put him in contact with a jewelsmith recently?
Crossell? Yes, I remember him. He's a merchant from Snezhnaya, no? Yeah, he came to me with a chunk of something he called Smaragdus Jadeite. The design of the hairpins that he gave me was quite intricate, so it took me some work to find someone who was up to the job. Eventually, I found an older jewelsmith who made them exactly according to his specifications. This order was on hold for a very long time, and only completed quite recently, which is why I remember it so well.
Doesn't seem like there's any evidence to be found here.
Miss Inksy, I'd like for you to confirm for me once more. When Mr. Crossell commissioned you to find him a jewelsmith, did he or did he not assert that the material he presented to you that day was called Smaragdus Jadeite?
Yes, I'm sure of it. The hairpins were made using many expensive materials, and the asking price was quite high, so we had to put this transaction on record with the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Mr. Crossell wasn't very familiar with the necessary procedures, so I filed it on his behalf. I also kept a copy for my own records. See for yourself, the item is called Smaragdus Jadeite Twin Phoenix Pins. The inlaid gemstone is recorded as Smaragdus Jadeite. The document even has the official seal of the ministry on it.
Thank you, Sinksy. Now, could you let me borrow this document?
Sure, it isn't serving much purpose here anyway. I take it then that there's been some more trouble?
Nothing you need to worry about, just a minor issue. I'll return your document as soon as I'm done with it. Thanks again!
Why is everyone's first reaction always to assume someone or something is in trouble?
I believe we have almost all the evidence we need. We just need to make one last trip. Let's go to Boo Boo Pharmacy to speak with Dr. Baiju.
The weirdo with the snake around his neck? What do you want to speak to him for?
Because only he can provide an authoritative statement confirming that Smaragdus Jadeite is harmful to the human body. Once we have this final piece of evidence in our hands, we can wrap this case up.
Jewelry's out of stock, but we have some new items in.
My, to what do I owe the pleasure? Though I'm afraid that if you're looking for our little Chi-Chi, she's out gathering herbs. And if it isn't Miss Yenfei as well, now that's an even rarer honor. What business brings you here, might I inquire? Some charlatans peddling ineffectual medicines again, no doubt?
No. I'm here this time to ask if you're familiar with Smaragdus Jadeite.
Smaragdus Jadeite? Why, yes, there is some information about it included in the 6th commentary on the 7 mountain treatises. The Seven Mountain Treatises states that this substance springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains, and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. It is abundant in elemental energy, so if someone without a vision is in contact with it for a prolonged period, best case scenario, they fall ill. Worst case scenario, they'll suffer great changes in personality, and their illness will only ever get worse. Anyway, I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to chit-chat. Knowing you, Yanfei, and given the specific nature of your question, I suppose that you're about to ask me to write an official affidavit attesting to the pharmaceutical peculiarities of Smaragdus Jadeite?
That is indeed the case. If you would be so kind, Dr. Baiju.
No trouble at all. It's just a single document. Won't take me a moment. I would mention, though, that you are not the only one who's developed a curiosity for Smaragdus Jadeite recently. A Snezhnayan merchant came to ask me about it not long ago. But after I gave him my reply, his expression shifted to one of remarkable disappointment. I wonder, Miss Yanfei, if your pressing business might be related to this Snezhnayan merchant?
Ah, you needn't concern yourself about that, Dr. Baiju. Thank you for penning us that document. I'll make sure to compensate you in due course.
You're too kind. Take care now.
That Baiju guy is as weird as ever. Is it just Paimon, or does it feel like he was fishing for something back there?
Dr. Baiju's always been like that. Well, we have the
You can't beat the...
Miss Yanfei, have you finished your investigation? I trust you will now be in a position to assess the compensation due.
Yes, my investigation is indeed concluded. I can now provide a final figure for the amount payable.
Wonderful. Well then, please, could you do the honors, Miss Yanfei?
Of course. According to the stipulations of the contract, Mr. Crossell, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original transaction price in Mora.
Sure. Wait, what? Me pay her? Surely there's been some kind of mistake, Miss Yanfei.
Not at all. According to my investigations and the material evidence that we've gathered, the substance claimed to be Smaragdus Jadeite that was inlaid within the Smaragdus Jadeite twin phoenix pins that you rented out to Mr. Chow was, in fact, Smaragdus Nephrite. Now, the contract states very clearly that 10 times the price shall be paid should the article not be genuine. Accordingly, you are liable for this sum, which is payable to Mr. Chow in Mora.
Material evidence? What material evidence? Why, Miss Yanfei, you cannot frame me like this. I spent a huge sum to obtain that Smaragdus Jadeite, and yet you claim that the ore inlaid on the hairpins is somehow fake? I demand to see your evidence.
Indeed. Only a testimony from an expert witness involved in the processing of the ore can serve as an authoritative assessment of whether it is genuine. Traveler, please produce the evidence in question. Is a processing record from the Jade Mystery, along with stone samples and an affidavit signed by the business owner, Chateau.
Seriously? Even the boss there couldn't differentiate between Smaragdus Jadeite and Smaragdus Nephrite. How does this prove anything? In any case, Smaragdus Nephrite is the outer layer of Smaragdus Jadeite. So I had him cut away the Nephrite, he returned the valuable Jadeite core to me, and some Nephrite samples remain in the store. What am I missing exactly?
That's an unsubstantiated belief.
Well, your claim that my ore is fake is just as unsubstantiated. And we are here to talk about evidence, aren't we?
Ugh. Looks like our first piece of evidence didn't convince him at all. Seems like he came prepared. What should we do next?
Hard evidence. Something legally binding. We have just the thing. Show him, Traveler.
This document proves that my hairpins are the real deal, doesn't it? This is the Ministry's seal, after all. It shows that the ore inlaid on the pins is indeed Smaragdus Jadeite.
Our second piece of evidence didn't work either. And this guy's getting more belligerent by the second.
You know, you could be right. Perhaps the hairpins are the real deal after all.
Of course I'm right. All the evidence shown supports my story.
Well, hang on a moment now, because I do recall one final piece of evidence that we haven't revealed yet. Traveler, would you do the honors? This shall serve as decisive proof of our case. I'm referring to the affidavit signed by Dr. Baiju of
What's this?
Smaragdus Jadeite springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. Sustained contact with Smaragdus Jadeite over a prolonged period will, in less serious cases, cause a mild malady, while in serious cases, the patient may suffer a dramatic change of personality and fall seriously ill. Mr. Crossell, were you aware of these peculiar properties of Smaragdus Jadeite?
I had no idea.
No idea, you say? I'd guessed as much. But for you to have rented out such a dangerous item... I'm afraid that this falls outside the scope of my work, but within that of the Ministry of Civil Affairs. However, I'm sure that the Ministry will be relatively lenient considering that, as you say, you were ignorant of the danger you posed. Don't worry, Mr. Crossell. I will make sure that all the evidence presented here will be handed over to the Ministry. I trust that you'll give them your full cooperation in their investigations.
What? Wait! I knew.
Oh, so you knew? Oh, dear, Mr. Crossell. But if you knew of Smaragdus Jadeite's dangerous properties beforehand, why would you...
Huh? No, The hairpins aren't actually
inlaid with genuine Smaragdus Jadeite? Is that what you were about to say? You do understand, Mr. Crossell, that this means that you will have to pay Ms. Zerchow 10 times the original price in Mora? Mr. Crossell, your answer, please. My client and I are waiting.
Yep, he's seriously intimidating right now. It's like she's a different person.
I admit it. I confess. The ore I had inlaid on those hairpins was Smaragdus Nephrite. But I'm a victim in all of this too. I invested a great deal of time and money into acquiring that small amount of Smaragdus Jadeite, in the hopes of turning it into a piece of jewelry that would fetch a fine price. But after receiving it and carrying it around for a few days, I started to feel extreme discomfort. I couldn't sleep a wink or eat a single bite. I was in a constant state of agitation, too. I went to Boo Boo Pharmacy to get myself checked out, only to discover that this sort of stone cannot be worn as jewelry. But how could I let all that money go to waste? That's why I had another pair of hairpins made from Smaragdus Nephrite, which is almost indistinguishable from Smaragdus Jadeite. I kept the real Smaragdus Jadeite in a specially made box. I daren't touch it again. I was worried that someone would see through it, which is why I only dared to rent them out, not sell them. And then to top it all off, Zhiqiao lost the hairpins after I rented them out to her.
Exactly! If they weren't the real deal, why'd you make her pay so much?
I didn't want to either, but when I purchased that Smaragdus Jadeite, some of my business partners found out. I knew they'd be watching closely to see how much I could make off it. If word got out that I sold a pair of fake hairpins, then my days in this line of business would be over.
All right, let's cut the appeals phase right there. I failed to see what bearing any of this has on your transaction with my client. According to the contract, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original price in Mora, and that is final.
10 times?
Crosel looks like he could faint any second.
As for me, according to my contract with Mr. Chow, 20% of that sum will go to me.
20%? That's as much as I spent on that Smaragdus Jadeite!
There's no need. It's fine. You don't have to pay me that much, Mora. Even if the Smaragdus Jadeite on those hairpins was fake, I still bear responsibility for losing them. Legally or not, I think I owe some compensation for that.
Ms. Zhiqiao, you...
However, Mr. Crosel, since you have no use for that chunk of Smaragdus Jadeite, why don't you give it to me instead? I'll consider us even.
What? But all right then. This cursed rock's brought me enough grief as it is.
Miss Yunfei, I'll turn this Smaragdus Jadeite over to you.
Well, that's not quite how the rules say this should go. But whatever. It'll do.
Thanks so much for your help this time, Miss Yunfei. When you have the time, I'll be sure to visit and express my thanks more appropriately.
Oh, come on. No need to stand on ceremony. Now, if I may confirm this again, Mr. Chow, have you and Mr. Crosel come to an understanding?
Well, yes, I believe we have.
Well then, that's good. Mr. Crosel, it seems that my client has no further claims against you.
Is that so? That's good. That's good.
Actually, Mr. Crosel, I'd like to talk business for a second, if I may. I could see from the hairpins you produce that you're very skilled in jewelry design. My family, on the other hand, works in the ore business, and we have a fair stock of fine ores. If we could join forces, your jewelry designs and our choice ores...
When someone tells us they've lost something, we end up searching all over the place for it. But this time, you managed to solve the problem with just a big stack of documents. Even though the solution didn't involve actually finding the hairpins.
The right solution depends on your perspective on the problem. The objective of my client, Mr. Chow, was to reduce her liability to pay compensation. So, rather than looking high and low for some hairpins, proving that the rented item was nowhere near worth what the vendor had claimed it to be was the more efficient solution. An Adeptus. Speaking of, you took part in that battle, didn't you? In which case, you would have heard what Granny said. Liyue Harbor is now a city ruled by humans. The title of Adeptus means precious little to me compared to my job as a legal advisor. In any case, Don't you think that the Liyue Harbor of today needs legal consultancy far more than it needs adeptal powers?
Paimon can think of someone who would definitely disagree with your reasoning.
Well, since we got what we came for, it's time to pay Granny a visit. I bet she's been on tenterhooks for a while now.
Ah, you've returned. How did it go? Were you able to find the Smaragdus Jadeite? Good, good. Then we have all the materials we need.
Well, if we're all set, Granny, I'll get going now. Got a ton of clients waiting for me back at the office.
Oh, you. All right, then. Go see to your business. Granny should be able to handle the rest.
I'm off then. Bye! Oh yes, Traveler. Make sure you don't lose the business card I gave you. I've been looking into the laws of other nations as well. If you should ever bump into any trouble with the law, come find me directly. Regulars get discounts too.
Come now, child. Are you leaving or are you not? If you have no wish to leave, perhaps you'd like to help me clean my teapot, hmm?
I'm leaving! I'm leaving!
That child. Goodness knows where she learned to be so rambunctious. Her father was hardly so riotous or fond of talking nonsense back in the day when he stood beside Rex Lapis. Ah, indeed she is. Liyue has changed, and the Adepti must also learn to change. Yanfei might be overly garrulous, but she is also the most intimately acquainted with the city among us all. Ah, Liyue is not the same place I once knew. All right, then. Let us speak of this no more. Back on topic. I believe that I still owe you a little gift.
Oh, Paimon's so excited! How is it made?
It is but a single teapot. It shan't take long at all. Just wait here. There we go. This Serenity pot is all yours now. Hold it firmly. If you were to drop it, oh goodness, who knows what might happen. Take these blueprints with you as well.
can't do that. Well, you're the one with the sword anyway. You do it. Still, why is it so empty here apart from that house? Oh, wait a second. What is that?
It seems that we have a visitor.
It's a huge finch!
Excuse me, I am not a finch. I am a teapot spirit, and you may call me... hang on a moment. What am I supposed to be called again? Oh, call me. I suppose you may call me Tubby.
So you're the little helper Madam Ping mentioned?
Madam Ping? Oh, you must mean Ping. Yes, she did summon me here. She told me much about you. You may leave all matters regarding the upkeep of this realm to me. Your journey may be far from over, but at least this way you will not want for a comfortable place to sleep each night. Though it is the Adepti who create realms such as this, they generally do not have the time of day to attend to the banal matter of their maintenance. Thus, we teapot spirits were created to help guard their realms and manage their affairs. You may consider me a butler, if you will. Now, allow me to explain this realm to you. Have you any blueprints on you? Specifically, blueprints with beautiful rooms, chairs, and the like. As long as you have a blueprint, you can refashion this realm however you please.
Blueprints? Oh, that's right! Granny handed us some when she gave us the teapot, didn't she? Let's take them out and have a look.
Yes, these are the blueprints I'm talking about. Go on, open them up. Just commit the image of the objects to memory and prepare the necessary materials. Then simply release the thought from your mind and the object in the blueprint shall appear within this teapot.
Wow! Is that all it takes? Then we could build a whole city inside, couldn't we?
I doubt it. A golden-eyed Adeptus explained this to me at some point in the past. He said that even though subspace creation is a product of adeptal power, even that has its limits. This world is not a true one, after all. It provides merely a moment of brief respite from the mortal realm, not a means of escaping it entirely.
A golden-eyed Adeptus? Paimon wonders who could that be?
I hardly remember myself. What's more, I have never seen that Adeptus again since. Well, let's not dwell on that. Have a look around. Best you get accustomed to this realm. If there's anything you would like to ask, just look for me.
Reduced to just standing around. How absurd.
Maybe...
The damned will sooner die again than lay a hand on me. The damned will sooner die again than lay a hand on me. The damned will sooner die again than lay a hand on me. Reduced to just standing around. How absurd. Those memories. So dark.
Be ending the stream for now. Might continue tomorrow kapag may key enough para